All praises to the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who are well, and likewise elders, Shalom to the Lord for the elect. Lord willing, this video is edifying, and I wanted to get into, afflicting ourselves and suffering more than we have to, and Salakia, this isn't shade to any brothers, but it is a perfect example for me to use. The brothers went to see Gladiator 2 the other day. It was a good movie, and the Akim was like, we basically had seats right next to the screen. We were right at the front of the screen, and for me personally, it was hurting my eyes to look at the screen because we were so close to it. It was like going an inch from the TV and watching the TV. You're not really able to see anything. And there were four seats, free, and there were four brothers. And I was basically like, let's go sit in the seats. And the brother was just, the brother said, one of the brothers made a joke, at the end of the day, we're supposed to suffer, we're supposed to suffer for the Lord. If you can't suffer for a 2 hour movie, then how are we going to deal with the things to come? And, brothers made a joke of it and it was funny, but, at the same time, that's a sentiment that's heavy in Israel, man. And you see that spirit sometimes where brothers feel like they have to suffer needlessly, and there's no need to. At the end, I waited 15 minutes to see if anybody came, and me and one of the brothers, we went there and we sat on the seat and we enjoyed the movie, man. And then two brothers sat down right next to the screen and watched it. And at the end of the day, they could have sat there with us and enjoyed the movie more than they did sitting that close to the screen, but they felt the need to suffer needlessly. And this isn't, shade on the brothers, but it's just to say that, in the truth, we're supposed to be wise in all things, right? So sometimes you don't have to suffer needlessly. This is Ecclesiasticus 30 and 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. The gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee. For sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carelessness bringeth age before the time. So we're supposed to apply wisdom, man. We know things are coming down the pipe and things are going to be horrible. But in the meantime, we don't have to suffer more than we have to. If the Lord has made a way for you to get a better paying job, or you want to get a raise, don't mean that you don't take it because I'm supposed to suffer. As long as I have a roof over my head and food in my belly, I'm good. Take the job, man. You have certain brothers out there who are very, very diligent. They work very, very hard. They go out on the highways and byways every day to do a lesson every day, and yet these brothers make moves. They might have second jobs, as long as it doesn't, you know, uh, conflict with you being able to do the work. There's no issue. Now, if you're having a job where you're not able to go out on the highways and byways, you're not able to do videos because you're constantly tired and your schedule's messed up, and now you're canceling going to camp because you want to go boxing or Muay Thai or jiu-jitsu or judo, then there's a problem there. But at the end of the day, if you're able to do all those things and have a job and, deal with your woman, and you might like going to the gym or whatever, and you're able to do those things, in order and still do the work, there's nothing wrong with that, man. We have to enjoy the world while we're here. We don't have to just suffer needlessly, man. At the end of the day, the Lord is going to put us through it. We don't have to put ourselves through it. This is Sirach, Ecclesiastes. I think it's the book of Ecclesiasticus or Ecclesiastes. I get them mixed up sometimes. But yeah, Sirach 30. I'm gonna start 18. This is the NLT. Let me see. The finest food means nothing if you are too sick to eat it. It might as well be offered to an idol. So if you're having something good to you, you should enjoy it. At the end of the day, if something good happens to you and you don't take it, it's pointless, man. It might as well be offered to an idol, but there is no point in offering food to an idol. It can't eat it or smell it. It is just the same with someone whom the Lord has afflicted. He looks at his food and sighs like a castrated man hugging a young woman. So, you hear the Lord has set something up for you to enjoy, and you can't enjoy it, man. It's like a man who doesn't have a penis, hugging a woman, man. Now you got those feelings, but those feelings have nowhere to go. Here, the Lord has set something up for you to enjoy, because we do get little bursts of happiness here in Babylon. It's not all just sorrow, and you don't want to enjoy it because you think the Lord wants you to be afflicted. Don't deliberately torture yourself by giving into depression. Happiness makes for a long life and makes it worth living. Enjoy yourself and be happy. Don't worry all the time. Worry never did anybody any good, and it has destroyed many people. It will make you old before your time. Jealousy and anger will shorten your life. A cheerful person with a good attitude will have a good appetite and enjoy his food. So it's the same as Ecclesiasticus, yes, Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, but in the NLT. So when the Lord gives you something, man, enjoy it, man. You don't have to neglect yourself because you feel like the Lord suffers, so you have to suffer the same as the Lord. At the end of the day, you'll never be able to suffer more than the Lord did. The Lord suffered more than everybody else, man. The Lord was the ultimate example. He led by example, which in this world is, you have that spirit of do as I say, not as I do spirit. The Lord didn't operate in that spirit. He operated in the spirit of, do as I do, following my footsteps. And at the end of the day, even when the Lord was here, this is why they said his eyes were red with wine, because he enjoyed the time that he had on earth, because he knew it was a short time. So he thought, let me enjoy this. Let me not suffer needlessly, because I know I'm going to suffer down the line anyway. You know what I mean? Brothers if brothers and the spirit that they're in, and they had to go through what Yahweh Shai went through, they'll be like, well, I'm not drinking any wine. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that because I just have to suffer. Now you're being over righteous, man. You're suffering needlessly. This is 1 Peter 2:19. For this is thankworthy if a man, for conscience towards Yahweh, endure grief, suffering wrongfully. I'm going to read that again. This is 1 Peter 2:19. For this is thankful if a man, for conscience towards Yahweh, endure grief, suffering wrongfully. So we're supposed to suffer wrongfully. We're not supposed to suffer our own hands. We have Esau being a little bitch, causing problems in our lives. You might be having a problem with Eve or even a Jake. It don't mean that you suffer that. Sometimes you can remove yourself from the situation. Sometimes you have to suffer it, and sometimes you don't have to suffer it. You can remove yourself, man. You don't have to sit there while somebody's abusing you, and you're like, whoa, the Lord went through it, so it's right for me to be abused. Remove yourself from the situation, man. We're supposed to be temperate in all things and understand all things and apply wisdom to all aspects of our life, not just the scriptures. Because you can have somebody who's very good in the scriptures. They can quote the scriptures, but they're not good at applying it. And you can have somebody who's not able to quote scriptures as much, but they apply more of the little that they do know. At the end of the day, it's better to do well and not know than to know and not do well. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults ye shall take it patiently, but if when you do well and suffer for it ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with other one. Right? For even hereunto ye were called, because Hamashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that we should follow his footsteps, who did not sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. So Yahweh Shai was a perfect example of that, man. He suffered when he had to suffer, but he had good times with the apostles. He drank, he ate, he was merry with them. He weren't like, oh, well, let's not do this because I have to suffer. He enjoyed the time while he was here, man. So we have to follow that Lord example. At the end of the day, when that time comes and we have to suffer, there's not going to be a way around it, man. You're going to have to go through that straight gate. You're going to have to go through that suffering. Right now, the Lord might make you a way. Man, take that way. You don't have to just suffer for no reason. This is Ecclesiastes 7:16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? And that's pretty much straight to the point. I'm at enough on here in Philippians 4:12. I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound everywhere and in all things. I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So we're instructed to be able to, you know, abound, right? To be able to grow, to be able to be happy, to be able to do the things we need to do. And we're instructed to be able to suffer when we're not able to do those things, and we have to know when to apply those characteristics in whatever situation it calls for. At the end of the day, if you see a car coming, you're not gonna stand there and let the car hit you and say, "Well, I'm suffering for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai's sake." You step out the way, man, and you let it go on. But at the end of the day, if you step out and you don't know a car hitting you and you get hit, you have to suffer that, man. So you have to know, when to suffer and when to abound, man. Certain brothers are just looking at it like, oh, well, we have to suffer, we have to suffer. No, you don't have to suffer more than you have to. So we have to use wisdom in that, man. Because sometimes we can be over righteous and it'll be to our own hurt. And that's not wise at all. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Jeremiah who were well, and likewise elders, Shalom, to the elect.